I know from personal experience, if you've gone through a layoff, had a friend go through a layoff, a parent, a loved one go through a layoff, you kind of feel like you're drowning and you don't know what to do. In today's video, we're going to talk about my story with layoff, and then just some steps on how to get prepared if you are currently going through a layoff or if a layoff is going to happen in your workplace, what to do. Because it's sometimes you feel when this happens to you, it's like the weight of the world falling on you, and it's a bad situation to be in. So my backstory is that in 2008, the company I worked for laid off, I think like 8 or 9,000 people, 20% of the workforce. I got laid off in 2013, so I knew it was coming. So I had a couple dollars in the bank and I was ready for it. I won't get into the whole backstory because it is a really long story. If you guys want it, like this video and I'll make a video about me getting laid off. I never went back into that same line of business. I just became self-employed, did my own thing. But I saw the writing on the wall from 2008 that I started building a really comfortable cushion that if the layoff would happen, I would be ready. So let's talk about if you have been laid off or if you see a layoff looming in the future, especially if you work in tech. Let's talk about what you should do. The first would be is to write down a list. What do you love? What do you see yourself doing other than your current job? So if your current job was extinct as of tomorrow, what would you love to do? So definitely write a list. What do you think that next chapter in your life is? Is it working in something completely different? Do you want to work in, customer service? Do you want to work, your own Etsy store? What is that next chapter for you? Definitely make a budget for yourself for the next couple of months with the holidays. If you give lavishly for the holidays, you're going to need some money in there. So definitely make those dollars and cents, manage them so you're not charging everything to a credit card at 20% interest. And do what makes the most sense to you. So if that means moving to a different city to work in your field, if it means moving back home so you could save money on rent till you figure this thing out, you got to figure out what will make the most sense specifically for you. What I would also recommend is to throw some gasoline on the fire. If you want to get motivated about saving money, jobs, paying off debt, listen to the Dave Ramsey podcast. It's free. He has his own app, or you can get it through iTunes or whatever, the podcast app. It is a tremendous app to really get you on track. And like Uncle Dave would say, to have 3 to 6 months of all your expenses in some sort of liquid checking account that you can get to really easily. Very smart move. And then if you are completely laid off and you need some extra cash with your cell phone right now, you can be a DoorDash driver, an Uber driver. You can deliver groceries. There are so many jobs that you can do a side hustle where you are right now and get a couple $100 every night rolling pourvu. Really, really smart. If you are an employee that didn't get laid off, but 8,000 people were laid off, but you weren't laid off, definitely it's super smart just to be prepared that if your number is going to come up next spring, just that you have that list, you have a little bit of money in the bank, and you just have a plan B prepared. Really know the pulse at your workplace that if there's going to be another big sweeping layoff, if your manager is comfortable enough to share some information with you, maybe that's some good information for you to know, especially if you're a planner. And definitely follow the news. If the economy is on an upswing and this recession or whatever, inflation stops, you might have a better idea that things might turn around and that these layoffs may stop. But we're going to have to wait and see till 2023 what that has to provide. Guys, so taking this from a different avenue now, like say you have a friend, a loved one, somebody you know gets laid off. As a couponer, you have a stockpile so you can really give big and share and help them to get the tide in the toilet paper. So they're not paying for those sort of items if you're inclined to share your stockpile. You can also give your ear, your shoulder, listen to them, talk about the frustrations of the layoff. You can also offer to help. For example, say you're a wizard at resume writing. You can help them with their new resume. Do a mock interview. If you both work in the same field, perhaps you can spread the word to find this person a little bit of freelance work, or maybe a job in the exact same field. If you know this person really well, that they're a good worker, sometimes a word of mouth reference or a good word for a person goes a lot further than a cold resume just showing up on somebody's desk. It's just how it works. People want to work with good people. So anyhow, guys, I hope this video was helpful. Maybe in the comments you can let me know if you've ever gone through a layoff and some of your tips and tricks on how to get through this really rough and unprecedented time. And we'll catch you guys in the next one.